Today you're going to learn two really cool builds for the Caracara 4x4. Hi, welcome back to the channel. The Caracara 4x4 is based primarily on the Ford F-150 Raptor, as you can see here in both game and standard form. Let's go and see if we can build something a bit more exciting. The first build will be the BJ Motors Signature Series 3. Off camera I made the secondary colour blue just so we can see what we're doing. Now the armour and the brakes of course are up to you. With the bumpers it soon becomes obvious that the racing bars are the best, even though they have a skid plate, and I'm going for the secondary version in the hope that I can paint that matte black later. For the rear bumpers, the black roll bar bumper looks by far the closest. The engine is up to you, and the last exhaust option is the only viable one because it's the only rear facing exhaust. For fenders, the stock left fenders is the correct option. That's the plain plastic ones. I'm not sure why it says the word left in there. The third grille option I think is the best, putting the word Vapid in relief over the central bar, similar to the way Ford is on the real car. The last option cuts the word Vapid out, and I don't think it works very well, just showing everything behind. On the hood, the real car has a square section with some plastic vents, presumably to exhaust hot air, and the nearest we have to that in this list is the single vent plastic. For lights I suggest xenon, but you can also go white lights at the LS Car Meet or Arena workshops, and that's what I have done. We're not using a livery. For the respray you want the metallic rolled steel, it's very close. It comes with a default silver pearl, which is fine, and a matte black secondary sorts out both the skid plate and the grille. The roof can remain stock, and for the racking, the plastic flatbed sport bar looks to be really close because it's a closed in bed. Unfortunately it's closed in the colour white, which doesn't match the car. As the car pictured had a little bit of racking above its sport bed, I've decided in the end to go with the one called black roll bars to reference that racking a little bit, and also just gives the car a little bit of a harder look even if it's not quite right. Leave the suspension nice and high. Transmission and turbo is up to you. The wheels is pretty simple for this one. Just go to the off-road class and select the avalanche wheels and paint them black, and they look really close to the wheels that are on the actual car. In this section decide whether you want bulletproof tyres. Down to the bottom apply a light smoke to the windows and we are done. Let's take a look. Well, I am very pleased with that, and I think it is well worth a place in a utility or an off-road collection for any real life car fan. But now I want to build something else. Build number 2 is a request, and the main reason for this video in fact. And that is to make the F-150 Harley Davidson Edition. The front bumpers are fairly easy because the second option, the commercial bumper, is actually pretty close. The primary roll pan bumper is a very clear match for the rear bumper, so another easy choice. Moving on to exhaust, it's the same story as before. You have to pick those long exhausts. On the fenders, again we've already seen you can have primary fenders, which is what the Harley Davidson Edition has, so that's an easy pick. If you remember from when the secondary was a bright colour, it showed quite a lot on the grille. That's what I need, so I'm going to select the stock grille. The Harley Davidson Edition has a unique hood with the front intake and then also higher up the black plastic vented exhausts. None of the hoods quite do it, but this lower intake with plastic vents is very close, so that's the one that I pick. I selected an ice white metallic because I've mainly seen the car in white, grey and black, and of course the bed cover is white and I wanted to match the bed cover, so that was quite easy. The grille is a sort of orangey red from what I can tell, but if you take lava red it's not that obvious, especially in slightly lower lights. So maybe slightly incorrect, but I've gone for Torino red secondary. Onto the racks, as discussed, it's the plastic flatbed sport bar as they call it. This car has some very unique wheels with both the suggestion of spokes on the outside, a big deep dish and then a quite big circular inside. I've been through everything in the game. I spent quite a long time trying to find any wheels with the correct tyre profile as well. The hot ring steely are quite close, they really give the suggestion of it, but as shown the brake calipers actually clip through. So in the end my final choice was in the muscle class, the very bottom option, mercenary. I wish the middle was a bit better, but overall these are very good. Now when it comes to colour, it's very difficult to do the champagne on the pictured wheel, and in fact silvers are quite difficult, but I've seen these wheels in a lot of colours, so I think the stone silver is going to work very nicely for this car. We'll stick with the light tints on the windows and let's go to the beach and have another look. I think that looks really excellent. Really pleased with this car. Thank you Focused for the suggestion. This is how I'm going to keep my car now in the collection. I'd love to know your thoughts on this build. There's loads of special editions available of this car, so have you built yours like one of those? If so, let me know down below. If you found this useful, I'd appreciate a like. And also, if you like real world cars in GTA, well, you may well consider a subscription to the channel. But above all, thank you so much for watching.